What's up, guys? It's Max, and this is Becky.
Hey guys!
And this is how to make purple sweet potato pie.
High protein,
Gluten-free,
grain-free.
sugar-free. So let's get into the recipe right now. All right, guys, we're gonna get right into this recipe. 4-ingredient pie crust. Becky, let's take them through right from the first ingredient, which is 2 cups of almond flour. So we're gonna put this in the Food Pro.
A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so this would be the coconut oil.
And that's just room temp, it's not melted.
We don't want it melted. No, we want it solid.
We don't want it melted, that's a good point to know.
Right. And if you didn't have a food processor, you could use a pastry blender for this. And then we're just gonna put it into the pie crust, right? And
now this pie crust is delicious, and so, but we are working with 2 cups of almond flour right there, guys. So it's a good amount of nuts, but if you divide this into, let's say, 8 slices probably. Yeah, maybe 4 really big ones, but you know, you're making this as a treat. It's not an everyday thing, but we wanted to make you a really delicious, healthy pie crust. And you can fill this with any of your favorite recipes that you want. All right, we've got this delicious 4-ingredient pie crust here, and we're gonna put this in the oven for 350, 8 to 12.
8 to 12 minutes, yep.
And pro tip on that, if you're gonna make like the recipe we're gonna do with this, which is a raw filling, you don't need to bake it anymore after that. But if you're gonna do like apple pie,
Right, yeah, like so if you're gonna put it back in the oven again, then make sure you probably don't put it in the oven for very long now. Maybe even go less than 8 minutes, so that
like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, just enough to sort of keep the crust there, and then you can pour the filling in and then put it back in the oven. But we're not gonna do that today.
Perfect. So we're gonna go in the oven 350, and we'll keep an eye on it from about 8 minutes to 12 minutes, and it should be perfect.
Right.
All right, guys, time to get into this purple sweet potato pie filling. Now, we're using it as a pie filling today. You can use this as icing, frosting for all kinds of different treats. So we do need to get the food processor out. Becky's gonna start putting the ingredients in,
right,
starting with the purple sweet potato.
Right, yeah, so this has been already cooked and cut up into pieces, and we're just gonna put it into the food processor. And then I've got some blueberries. So this is a couple blueberries. I used frozen and just thawed them, but you could use fresh if you wanted to, right? So just gonna throw that in as well.
Yeah, and these frozen, these are thawed frozen from Costco. Oh my gosh, they do.
Those you could also just eat by the
Those
spoon.
are like candy. So
we both can attest to that.
That may be weird, but yes.
Yeah, no, they're so good. All right, and this is just a tablespoon of vanilla. This is just 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And then if you like the zesty lemony flavor, I like to use lemon oil, just like 1 or 2 drops, but you could just use the zest of the lemon if you wanted, but depends on how much you really want that like citrus flavor to come through. All right, now we've got some vanilla protein powder. This is 3/4 cup. You can actually see this is Max's kind, so you can see like the nice little specks of vanilla beans.
Yeah, we are using
stuff in there.
So we are using Max's Best Bootcamp protein powder for this. You can use your favorite brand if this is not available to you or you don't have it. But we're using a vanilla flavor for this. You could use any of your favorite flavors and sub it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally we have some coconut butter. So we have a 1/4 cup of coconut butter. And you do want to make sure that that's as soft as possible, so I know when you first open up the jar it kind of separates, so mix it really well. If you were using it as a frosting, you might want to add a couple drops of some stevia just to make it a little sweeter if you wanted to, so that's optional. I'm just going to turn this thing on. Yeah, and there you have it. So it looks pretty good. I don't know if you...
Wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah, you could see how you might want to just like scoop it up and eat it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So this is like all purple sweet potato goodness right here. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we've got our pie crust here, and what you want to do is let it cool until it's about room temperature.
All right, so now our crust is nice and cool, and we're gonna put our purple sweet potato filling in there. So
time to bring it all together.
that's right, exactly. We've been waiting patiently. So we're just gonna scoop it in there.
That looks incredible. Just the color contrast alone is
So good. Like I said, I've been known to eat it right from here.
right. Now, and also, if you guys have not found purple sweet potatoes, there are such thing as purple potatoes that have been around for a while.
Yes.
But it's a different beast, and purple sweet potato is definitely going to lend itself to, well, it's going to be a little more sweet.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't use, if all you can find is purple sweet potato, purple potatoes. But
The
not,
Peruvians.
yeah, I would not use that in this recipe. I would rather you do a white sweet potato, and I've actually done it that way. And the blueberries make it still pretty purple. The recipe would, so it won't come out quite as vibrant, but it still would look pretty close to this.
Wow, this recipe came together. It looks and tastes amazing. And don't forget, you guys, this is completely gluten-free, grain-free. It's dairy-free if you use a dairy-free protein powder, and completely delicious.
Sugar-free too.
Sugar-free.
Yep.
Kid approved too. Becky will test that.
Yes,
she has
my kids love it.
two daughters.
Yep.
And they eat this stuff up. So, and speaking of which, I want to thank Becky for coming down. Thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Absolutely nailed this recipe. You guys don't want to miss this. Go ahead, give it a shot. If you have any ideas for maybe some cool toppings on here, or if you tried this, let us know. We'd love to have your feedback on this. And be sure, if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this video with a friend. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Have an awesome day.